Welcome to this new second part of Indian physiography, and first part has been already made and we have talked about the peninsular region. In this second part we will talk about the resources and related industries. So lots of data are given in this lecture, so it may sound boring, but I will try to make it more interesting by giving some theories and explanation as per the concept. Okay, but the data are present here. I will request you to please note down all those important data so that it will help you in your examination. Okay, so let us move to this introduction part. So first we will see that what is the reason behind industry setup, what are the conditions required for setting up an industry. The most important part for setting up an industry is to look upon its market base and look upon the resource base. Okay, then if let us suppose the end product is very heavy, then industry will try to set up their industry nearest to the market base. And if their end product is not very heavy, and if they earn more profit by setting up an industry nearest to the resource, then they will set up their industry nearest to the resource. In most of the cases they set up their industries nearest to the store, such as let us take an example of iron and coal industry. Your iron and coal industries used to set up nearest to the coal reserves. Wherever the coal will be present, you will find the iron and steel industries. So that's why the reason behind the lack of iron and coal industries not present in the peninsular India, because the coal reserves are very less present there, or no coal reserves are present. And what are the reasons behind it? In lack of formation of coal in peninsular region, in spite of present nearest to our equator. I've already talked about in the part 1 that when our Pangea was there, then Earth was divided and India was not a part of Eurasian plate, it was an Indo-Australian plate, then later they merged together. Okay, I've already talked about those things. Okay, and only region where the iron and coal industry is present in south is your Karnataka, where it is running on the wood fuel, that by the burning the wood present of the forest. Okay, so that is the only place where they are getting resources, not by the coal, they are getting the resource as a wood in Karnataka. That's it. So the industries which receive heavy raw product and light in products, usually they settle their industries near ore resources rather than marketplace. Okay, and iron ore used to produce steel and other iron products. On the other hand, if the end product is heavier than the resource product, then usually we see those industries at marketplace, or the place where it is going to be used. Okay, like suppose ship needs to be constructed near the seashore only. It is not like you construct the ship as the lots of resources, your iron and steel are present in Jamshedpur, Bihar. So it is not like you will construct ship, you will manufacture ship in Bihar, then you will transfer that ship to the seaside. No, it is not possible. Okay, as the end product is very heavy. That's why there are two conditions to set up an industry. So first they take the condition as whether their end product is heavy or not. If their end product is very heavy to the marketplace, they will set up their industries nearest to the marketplace. And the second, if their end product is not very heavy, then they will try to set up their industries to the resource place where they are getting the resource. Okay, so the mineral used for any naturally occurring material that is mined and is of economic value, so the mineral that they will use should be give them profit only, and the availability and per capita consumption of minerals are considered to the important indicator to assess the economic development of a country. So whatever the consumptions of mineral is or exploitation of mineral is going on for formation of industries or for running the business, that will ultimately add into our GDP of our country, that will give a growth rate to the country by giving employment or by giving expenses or earning to the country. Okay, so for GDP all we will talk about in the economic part. So in India there is metallic division of the country based on available resources. So what are the like metallic divisions and all? So peninsular block which has igneous and metamorphic rock are rich in minerals. So I will tell you, see, peninsular block will active one, so we will find that igneous and metamorphic rocks are rich in minerals, while the great plains of India and Himalayan regions are devoid of metallic minerals. Okay, so we won't find such rich minerals present there. Okay, so what is igneous and metamorphic rock? So igneous rock will be your those types of rock which came first as a lava, and metamorphic rock will be the when any rock, either igneous either sedimentary, changes its form into something new one, then they will be called as a metamorphic rock. So that these things I have talked about in the rock cycle. Okay, so now the Chota Nagpur belt. Here we have given I have attached the diagram. This is your Chota Nagpur belt, where you will find coal, mica, magnesium, chromium, aluminium, iron, uranium, copper, dolomite, and calcium calcium oxide. These all things will be present there. Okay, and see, this is the part of science only where you won't get metal in a purest form. It will be like it in the mixed form. You will get those metals. Okay, so the Chota Nagpur plateau. So this is the most important belt where we can find the most important minerals here, and this is the Naxal area. So what is Naxal is how it emerged, from where actually you will be shocked to know that Naxalism is emerged from the China. Okay, and how, and this emerged as a positive way in China, but here it is acting as a negative for us. Okay, so this part for Naxalism I will talk about in the Indian security for international security concept. Okay, I will like if you watch those videos also. So geographically it covers Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Bihar and West Bengal, and it has 100% kyanite, 93% iron ore, 84% coal and 70% chromite. That's why you will saw all the, that coal and iron ore both are present there. So you will find that steel industry present, Tata and steel industries all were present in Jamshedpur. Okay, so for iron steel industries, iron ore and coal are very important. Thus most of the industries are in Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, some in Chhattisgarh and Bihar. Okay, then mica, manganese, chromite, bauxite, uranium, phosphate, copper, dolomite, china clay and limestone are present in this belt. So as I have said already that most of the part of this lecture will be data related. So these are the data that you have to remember. It is not important that you have to remember all thoroughly, but just keep a figure in your mind. The most important thing in this, the Chota Nagpur plateau, will be like iron and ore and coal industries are present. Okay, so this will be your important part to remember. Okay, now we'll see other belts that are present, like the Midland belt, the Southern belt, the Western belt, the Southwestern belt and the Himalayan belt and the Indian Ocean belt. So there are all other further divisions were present, and these are the data that Midland belt, this your brown one, that is the Midland belt. Then Southern belt will be absolutely, it will be in the south, and the Southwestern belt will be your this one. It is like logically you can think, like logically you will know, and Western belt will be on west. And what are the metals present here? So see here in this one you will find iron ore and all. Okay, and in Karnataka and all, that's why I have said like we will find the iron and steel industries, and this is not running on coal, as it is, the coal is not present here, it is running on wood fire. Okay, wood energy. Then this is your green part, that will be Southern belt, and this is will be your Western belt. Okay, so the Midland belt will be your Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, manganese, bauxite. This is the data for Southern belt. The belt is present in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, And the gold, this one is important part, that gold is present is where? Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Here gold is present in your Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh part. Okay, then chromite, manganese and lignite, mica, bauxite, gypsum, asbestos, limestone. Last three reason for cement industries. See this one, gypsum, asbestos and limestone. These three part are the reasons of present of cement industries in the southern belt. Why? The resources for the cement industries like gypsum, asbestos and limestone are present there. Okay, so for Chota Nagpur plateau, you will get iron and steel industries because of coal. Okay, and in Karnataka, in southern belt, you will get cement industries. This part you have to remember. In cement industries because of the presence of gypsum, asbestos and limestone. Okay, because of gypsum, asbestos and limestone. This is the important part you have to remember. Okay, for Chota Nagpur, again I am remembering, telling you the Chota Nagpur iron and steel industries because of coal. In southern belt, that is cement industries because of your gypsum, asbestos and limestone. Okay, I think it is not working clearly. Sometimes my pen won't work, so please forgive for that. The western belt, the Maharashtra half of the land is in Midland belt. That will be your this one, your western, this one. So the Maharashtra half of the land is in Midland belt and it is present in this one. See, for this one it is talking about Maharashtra. So Maharashtra of the land is Midland belt. It is present in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and here we have copper, lead, zinc, uranium, mica, manganese, mineral, and natural gas and oil. So in the western belt, you have to remember about natural gas and oil are present. Okay, that Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Rajasthan region. Okay, for that Chota Nagpur plateau, for iron and steel industries. For the southern belt, you have to remember that is your cement industries because of gypsum, asbestos and limestone. For the western belt, remember that natural gas and oil are present. Okay, these are the important things that I am marking you here. And the southern belt, here it belongs to mainly west coast, and it is present in Goa, Karnataka and Kerala. Here iron ore is present and exported from Goa ports. Okay, the iron ore, that iron ore I have told, like industry is present, iron and steel industry is present, which is running on wood. Then that monazites and thorium resources important for nuclear minerals. Now here for this one, for everything you will find something to remember that may come in your exam. So for here the thorium resources very important one, that is important for your nuclear minerals, that is your thorium is a nuclear minerals. Okay, and then garnet, china clay, so grass and chemical industries are present here. Okay, in south only you will find that cement industry. Now here chemical industries also found. Fine, bauxite for aluminium, mica, limestone for cement industries are also present. For the southern part you will find the cement industry because of presence of limestone, gypsum and all. Okay, and soapstone are present in this belt. Okay, and for the Himalayan belt, this one will be a Himalayan belt if this is your India. So as no regions can be without any minerals, so pocket of minerals like gold, silver, gypsum etc are present. Okay, so remember gold is present in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, and another the gold, silver and gypsum are present in your Himalayan region. So the most important point you have to remember, like there won't be any region where you won't find any mineral. It is because it is made up of minerals only. So as no regions without any minerals, so the pocket of minerals like gold, silver, gypsum will be present here in the Himalayan belt. Okay, and for the Indian Ocean, oil and gas in the coast seabed. In ocean only, in sea you will find the petroleum reserve, but it is very difficult to extract the petroleum as the like like if you extract the petroleum from the sea, normally the cost of extraction of petrol will be higher than the petrol price in the market. So that will not be your mineral. The basic definition of mineral is that one only, that you will study in science. Okay, so that's why. But in the Indian Ocean we have some extraction of oil and gas and high grade nodules of manganese, aluminium, silicon, iron, sodium, potassium, monazite. And apart from monazite, we don't extract other minerals, as we don't have the much technology to extract it profitably and call it as minerals. Okay, so the basic definition for called it as a mineral, that extraction of an iron, extraction of an metal from the ore in a profitable way. Okay, if you are extracting metal from the ore in a profitable way, then it will be called as mineral. So in the sea, lots of petroleum reserves are present. Just imagine, the formation of petroleum is because of the high heat and pressure of the fossils and other plants reserve present in there, and this convert into petroleum and coal. So just think, sea is present from how much year back, so how much reserves are present in the sea, but the extraction from the sea level is not profitable. That's why we won't extract such kind of petroleum or minerals from the sea, and we don't have a technology for it so that we can call it as a mineral. Okay, and as I've said, explain the diagram. Okay, anywhere in the world where we get the plateaus mineral will be present, and delta will be your agricultural land. So deltas will be formed by the silt and silt carried by the river. So the deltas will be formed. So the most of the deltas are present in the eastern side of our country, as maximum river flows from the western ghat. So it carries the debris and the silt and all to the eastern part of our country, and these all are settled here and forms delta, and deltas are very fertile. So most of the agricultural land or agriculture takes place in those regions. Okay, now the minerals present in India, again it will be kind of a boring, but what we have to go through it and extract the important part from your exam. So the iron ore is not present in pure form. Absolutely, ore is not present in the pure form. From that we extract our metal. It is mixed with lime, magnesium, silica and copper, and from this one we extract our metal. So hematite, oxide of iron, metallic content varies between 60 to 70%. And Dharwar rocks, I have already explained the Dharwar rock, how the formation of Dharwar rocks, then we will saw Kudappa rocks and all. So I have made videos on that also, that you will be understand easily. And Jharkhand iron ore series, so Odisha, Mayurbhanj, Chhattisgarh, and Bailadila in Rajhar, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Kudermukh, Baba Budan, Goa, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so you will find those iron ore in those regions. Okay, no need to remember all those things. If you are giving the UPSC exam, just go through the current affair. If the iron ore is present in the current affair in those year, so just remember those important places or some important place as per the current affair only. Okay, in that only question comes in exam. So the magnetite will be your black ore, that 60 to 65% of iron ore contains. Again the Dharwar, that hematite are also present here. And Kudappa, again I have said that Kudappa system I have also talked about in the video lecture. So best quality present on these two places, and you may find fossils in these regions. And Karnataka, it is in Dharwar and Shimonga. Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Salim and Kerala, here you will find the magnetite, black ore. Then limonite, so hydrated iron oxide, so 35 to 50% metal will be present. And Damodar series in Raniganj coalfields, Mirzapur district of UP, Garhwal regions of Uttarakhand and the Kangra valley of Himachal Pradesh. So siderite iron carbonate 10 to 40% inferior quality and not economically extracted, this one. Okay, so it may, we won't call it as a mineral also sometimes. So Karnataka, so which are the states that give that have abundant amount of iron ore? That is first you like Karnataka, then Odisha, then Chhattisgarh, then Goa, then Jharkhand. Okay, but the reason behind presence of lots of iron and ore industries in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Odisha regions because there is a coal reserve. You won't find coal reserves in this Karnataka and Goa and all. Goa already transferred the iron ore to Karnataka. These are running on the wood fuel, okay, and these three are running on coal one, okay, because they need resource for running the industry. Then manganese, India is the second largest. Again remember this one, India is the second largest reserves in the world after Zimbabwe, okay, and the regions where it present are Odisha, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. And the copper, it is mainly present in Madhya Pradesh, so Rajasthan is the most famous for it, and Jharkhand. India is not being self-sufficient in copper, and India is importing copper from Zimbabwe, Australia, USA, Mexico, Japan, and some of the major copper mining areas in India are, so the Chirpi series stretches from Balaghat and Chhindwara in Madhya Pradesh. This is used in Malanjkhand and copper plant. Then Ghatsila, that located in Jharkhand, it is a copper smelting plant. Then Khetri mine, so copper mining cum ore refining plant in the Junjun district. So this is some important part you may find, you may have to remember it. And aluminium will be like bauxite is present in Odisha, from where we will extract the aluminium. It will ore of aluminium. And Gujarat, Jharkhand, Bihar, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu and Madhya Pradesh, some industries are present there. So some industries for aluminium are like Balco, Bharat Aluminium Company Limited, Korba in Chhattisgarh. Then Hindalco, that is Renukut and Lohardaga, it is present in there. Then Madras Aluminium Company, Balco and Malco you can remember easily. So then Sheveri Hills of Tamil Nadu. And then Koraput Aluminium Plant, Nalco, that in Koraput, that is present in Koraput only. So you can remember Balco, then Hindalco and then Nalco, okay. Just arrange in alphabetical order and remember in that way, that first you can Balco, then you will call Malco, and after M it comes N, then we will have a Nalco, okay. So easy way to remember it. And for remember of Balco also, you can remember Alco, after A what comes B, just remember it, then you will get Malco, and after M you will get N, then that will be on Nalco, okay. So I'm continuing. So gold, you have seen that gold is present in your Himalayan regions and in your Karnataka regions and Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. So that Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and we Himalayas belt also have a gold and silver reserves are present there, okay. So placer gold, the gold obtained from the sand and sedimentary deposits of the river is known as placer gold. So different types of gold. So what is placer gold? So this gold obtained from that sand and sedimentary deposit that came from the river, that will be called as placer gold, and it is present in Subarnarekha Gold District river in Jharkhand, Dras and Suru, that will, it is in the north part, and Shimla and Bilaspur in Himachal Pradesh. Then Champion series, the Champion Reef in KGF, and it is the oldest gneiss rock in Karnataka and the oldest metamorphic sedimentary rocks in India. So what is gneiss rocks, what is metamorphic rock, I have talked in rock cycle, so you can find in videos on my channel. So gold is present in India but not enough for the country, that's why we have to import from the other countries. And now here your economical part comes. The tax on the gold is around 1 to 1.6%. now here our economist asked the question to the government. Actually on the precious metals the tax are around 27 to 28%, 27, 28, 25%, because these things are bought by the rich people or middle class people, not to by the poor class people. So as a concept of cross subsidization, why you are giving such a less tax in gold reserves, that is around 1 to 1.6%. So this is the concept we will talk about in economics, or just after this video lecture I will prepare one video lecture where that will be related to your current affair, where I will talk this thing. So the gold, the government is taxing on gold at such a small rate, and it is giving benefit to the rich people. Okay, so this is the concept that we'll talk in our subsidy lecture, that will our current affair topic. Okay, you can also watch for it. So gold present in India but not enough for the country, so that's why we have to import gold, and the tax is on gold is 1 to 1.6%. that is very less, and it is benefiting to the rich people or middle class people, not to the poor people, where government can envisage or give impose greater tax for that. Then you have silver. It is found in associated with the lead and zinc. So Jawad mines of Udaipur is the largest producer of silver, and it is mainly produced from zinc and lead smelting. So not much present in India, that is in silver. Silver is not much present in India. Then some more minerals. We are coming to the end only. So mica, that is present in Rajasthan mostly here, then Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra and Bihar. Then limestone, some small qualities of silica, alumina, iron oxide, phosphorus and sulfur is also associated with it. The assembly series of lower formalities in the Son Valley. These are the data that you have to remember only. So important part here is your diamond, that is mica, Rajasthan. So diamond, it is found in Vindhyan formation. It's more about, okay, and the Bundelkhand, then Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Kurnool, Anantapur and Karnataka. Then Panna districts of Madhya Pradesh. So Ajabgarh series diamond lying in Rajasthan state, Bhandar series, then Vindhyan formation that will send to Surat and Jaipur for polishing and finishing. That is, it is famous for polishing and finishing, Jaipur. Then Bijwara series, that with Chhatarpur and Panna of Madhya Pradesh, famous for transparency and hardness across the world. And then the Yalo series of Delhi to Alwar, known that again diamond is not much found in India as like silver. Okay, gold also, it is not much found in India. We have to import it. Then uranium, it is present in Singhbhum. It has a good abundant quantity. So it is present at Singhbhum and Hazaribagh of Jharkhand, Gaya of Bihar, that is Saharanpur of UP, and largest source of uranium comprise the monazite sands found in Kerala. And the copper and zinc mines at Udaipur also has uranium, and Jharkhand, Andhra Pradesh and Meghalaya have some traces of it. And thorium, it is present, it is derived from monazite, that is from, that is uranium part comprises monazite sands. So it is derived from the monazite only, that will be in Kerala, Jharkhand, Bihar, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan. And it is believed that almost 60 to 70% of thorium of the world is present in India. So India has an abundant quantity for the your uranium items and all. Okay, I have already talked about all those things here. Okay, so just remember for this one that it is believed that 60 to 70% of the thorium of the world is present in India. Now we'll see that Gondwana coal fields. That's why, because of that Gondwana only, we get named Gondwana and Lord Asia. So most of the coal present in India are from the field from this field, that Gondwana field, and 98% of the total reserves and 99% of the production of coal in India is here. And basins of Damodar, that West Bengal, Mahanadi, Odisha, the Son Nadi, Son River, that Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Godavari will be in Andhra Pradesh. So these are all the datas only. And the Damodar series possesses the most valuable and the best worked coal fields and accounts for 80% of coal production in India, that Damodar series. So remember this part, that Damodar series possesses the most valuable and best worked coal fields for the 80% of coal production in India. Then you will find the tertiary coal. So see, best quality coal present in India is not much. Okay, India is not known for the best quality of coals. Bituminous and all, we will see all those things. And then tertiary coal, the form during the tertiary period. I've already went the secondary period, tertiary period. These all things are talked in the geography series. You can go and find it there. So coals of younger age confined mainly to the extra peninsular region, Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh. These are the regions that you have to remember. Then Jharkhand will be Jharkhand, Jharia, Bokaro, Karanpur, Ramgarh, Uttar and Daltenkand and Devghar. You will find some minerals of that Gondwana field, that is coal present there. Then Odisha, these are the places. Then Chhattisgarh and MP. Then West Bengal. Then tertiary period, if related to the tertiary period, you will be found in tertiary period, coal formation will be found in Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Jammu and Kashmir and West Bengal. Okay, so these are the data that you have to See, just take a overview of it. Remember this tertiary period and part. Just remember those things only. It is not possible to remember all those places. Okay, just for the sake of completion of the information, I have given those data. So the coal, especially I'm talking about the coal, that coal is the most important concept here. I'm 90% thing I have already told about the coal. So the 70% of the total commercial energy that is consumed in India, it is from the coal only. So anthracite, so that is your hard coal. Now it will talk anthracite. So anthracite will be a hard coal. It is the best quality coal and contains 80 to 95% of the carbon. Okay, so the best quality coal, that will be your anthracite, and it is very hard, compact, jet black coal. So it is very dark, and it has a that is carbon contains lots of presence, so it will produce very less smoke. Okay, and the heat will be very high in this type of coal. Then you will get bituminous coal, that will black coal, and it released a liquid called bitumen after heating, and used for that it is used for generating steam that will produce smoke, and heating purposes that will be found in Jharkhand and Odisha. Just think like if you have a best quality of coal, it will produce less smoke. And West Bengal and Madhya Pradesh, then you will get lignite coal, that will be called as brown coal, and only 40 to 55% of carbon is present, and it will be find in Rajasthan, Neyveli of Tamil Nadu, and Lakhimpur of Assam, and Karewa and Jammu Kashmir. And the least quality, the bad quality of coal will be your peat, the first stage of transformation of wood to coal. So how the coal formation, I have already explained that when the wood and fossils and all are submerged below, and intense heat and pressure exerts on those things, then it will form and a coal. So the first conversion of those materials, all those decomposed materials, will be your coal. Okay, that will call as peat. Then you will get as a brown coal, that brown coal will conduct as a 40 to 55% of coal carbon present there. And how older the coal, the best quality you will get. This is the formula of coal. Okay, then you will get black coal, that is on bituminous coal, and then you will get anthracite. Okay, just remember the series. Then you will get anthracite, then you will get bituminous, then you will get lignite, and then you will get peat. In between that also you will get some more subdivision you may find in some other books, but this is the most important one, and from this only in exam the question will come. So just you have to remember anthracite will be present, that jet black coal, it's present only in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, just remember this thing. This is the most important thing you have to remember, the data, that the anthracite coal, that is the best quality of coal, which is very hard, compact, and jet black coal, it is present in Jammu and Kashmir only. Okay, then bituminous coal, that is a black coal, it comes after anthracite, and it releases a liquid called bitumen. Bituminous, remember bitumen, then you will remember bitumen after heating, and used for steam rising heating purpose, that is found in Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh. So how will you remember this one? You will remember that like the most of Tata and steel industries are present in this region. Why? Because of coal reserves are present, because of resources present there. And where which type of coal is present? That is bituminous coal, that is good quality of coal is present there. Just that's why the iron and steel industry is present there. Okay, then you will get lignite coal, that is brown coal, 40 to 55% of coal. So where the coal reserves will less, so you will get that Rajasthan, Neyveli of Tamil Nadu and all. That's why in Karnataka you won't find that in peninsular region you won't find the coal reserves, and because of that in Karnataka the iron and steel industry is operating one that is present, which is running on wood fuel. Okay, then you will get brown coal, and then you will get peat. Okay, so the problems of coal industry, that unequal distribution of coal, poor quality of coal with respect to India, less efficient transport system, obsolete method of mining, shortage power of supply, and fires and waterlogging. Okay, I think you understand it. There is a one coal mines in near in Jharkhand all, where a fire has been broke out, and it is still burning. It is, I think, more than 20 years, 30 years have been went away. The fire is still there. Okay, and the coal reserves, most of the coal reserves present in India are poor quality and less efficient transportation system we have, like transportation of coal from one region to another. In Gangs of Wasepur, in the movie we have seen that how corruption is also going on, like by uh, by pouring water on the coal they increase the weight of that coal, and just they get the profit from it. Okay, and obsolete method of mining, directly mining without thinking about the uh, erosion of the soil. They just either dig the mine, which will what, that will ultimately called soil erosion, and the buildings present near that reserves will be affected, will destroyed. Okay, because of that inefficient or obsolete method of mining. Any method they are following, just they are mining for taking out the coal. Okay, so this is the important part that you have to remember. Okay, and unequal distribution of coal, like in some part, like you will find in the North India part, then less quality of coal in the northwestern part, and in the southern part you will get no coals or some coal. Okay, so the industrial data related to the petroleum, the western offshore oil fields, the Bombay high basins and Eliabet, and the Gujarat coast will be Ankleshwar, Kambeluni, and the Brahmaputra valley, that will Digboi, Naharkatia, and the eastern coast will be Krishna Godavari delta. This is the part that you have to remember, that where is the petroleum is present in India. Then iron and steel industries, I have already talked about it, that is in Jamshedpur. Tata Iron and Steel Industries Jamshedpur, 1907, it is operating from 1907. Then SAIL is responsible for management of steel plants of Bhilai, Durgapur, Rourkela, Bokaro and Borno, that is in Kolkata regions. Then factor responsible for iron and steel industries. So these are the factors that are responsible for iron and steel industries. Okay, what are the factors? So it should be near to coal fields, I have already said. Resources should be nearest to them, or it should be near to iron ore mining centers and in between the iron ore and coal. Okay, this is the basic one. From starting I am talking about this. Then Vishwarayan iron and steel works at Bhadravati is an exception, which is present far away from the main coal. This is an exception for it one. Remember this one. And this question can be asked in your interview. And India is leading country in production of sponge iron, that is soft iron. Then TISCO established in 1907 by Jamshedji Tata at Sakchi in Singhbhum district of Jharkhand. Now this place is famously known as Jamshedpur, and still there is a one place that is called as Sakchi. Okay, but now it is popularly known as, the whole region is popularly known as Jamshedpur. Jamshedpur Tata. So and iron ore will be your Naumudi mine, Singhbhum, Badam Pahar and Guramhishini. Then coal will be on Jharia and Raniganj, and manganese will be on Joda mines, Keonjhar and Odisha. So maximum, most of the parties data is present here. So this is also data. And the water Subarnareka, that is Karka, and dolomite is present in this region, the Sundargarh and district and of Odisha. Then iron, Indian ore and steel industry, ISCO. This is the one company. This is the industries now we are talking about. That's why I'm giving the name of those data, that just for the sake of completion of the information. So 3 plants at Kulti, Hirarpur, Bhunpur in West Bengal. Then iron, Guna mine, Singhbhum district. Coal, which is in Jharia. Then power, that is Damodar Valley Corporation, that is also in Bihar, Jharkhand region. So dolomite, limestone, Sundargarh. Then manganese, that is in Odisha region. This is also Odisha region. So Vishwaraya iron and steel, this is another industry. So Bhadravati, that is present Bhadravati, Shimoga, Karnataka. Then iron, Kemagudi, Chikmagalur. Then power industry will be in Sharavati. So these are the data that you may find useful to remember. For Bhilai also, USSR helped in setting up the Bhilai in Bhilai, that industrial present in that Bhilai regions. Okay, for iron and steel industries and all. Okay, so Durg district of Chhattisgarh built with the support of Soviet Union. This one was constructed with the help of Soviet Union. Iron and ore industry, that will in Dalli Rajgarh range. Okay, you may find boring. Just for the sake of completion of the information, I have given those data. Just go through it once. That is in Rourkela, that industry that was established by West Germany. This is the important part that you have to remember. Okay, that iron ore is present in there. Then coal, Jharia, that Ruralkela industry and Ruralkela place that was established by the West Germany. Then Durgapur in West Bengal is established with the help of UK in 1962. Then aluminium smelting, these are the, I have already explained, Balco, Malco, Nalco and all. Then copper smelting will be on Ghatsila in Singhbhum district of Jharkhand, Khetri mine, cement industries and all. Okay, so these are the parts of data that I have given. Okay, most of the theory part I have explained you. For this PPT you can go to the description, go to the Twitter handle, ping me there, I will give you that all the information. You can also ask for the demand on lecture, I will provide you that lecture. And the most important thing, that you have to subscribe. This is the payment that you are giving me. Okay, thank you.